Now, I got my Aikido belts today. And they start from February 17th, the 26th, to April the 10th, for the break falls and rolling. To November for the orange belt, 2017. Now, I completed 100 hours of training the 25th of January, 2018. So I was awarded the blue belt in this is out of order, I think. Yep. It is. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But it's only one. Yeah. Taijutsu body movement was December 2nd, 2019. All right. That was a little out of order. Now, Taijutsu is body movement, but a specific body movement. That's where you learn to do your other exercises, right? And that was the 2nd of December, 2018, right? All right. The other, let's see, okay. So, January was the 100. The Taijutsu was December. And the blue belt was in March, right? So, blue belt goes first. And then the brown belt was October of 2018, right? So again, before the Taijutsu again, right? So the first black belt was April 15th, 2019. Now, the Aikido is the weapon. It's like a little 4-foot staff, right? Of Aikidoist, right? Mm-hmm. Then Tanrin Spirit Forging, right, was 20th of July, 2019, right? The second Dan, was the 3rd of May, 2020. Tachidori, which is sword taking, right? That's where you can take the sword from someone else, right? Is the 12th of August, 2021. Bukiwaza is a combination of the sword and Jo techniques, right? And that's 100 hours of intensive study, awarded on the 25th of May, 2022. And the third Dan black belt is the 15th of June. Oh, wait a minute, I think. Or the 12th. It was just kind of hard to read the writing there. Or was that the 18th, maybe, right? Yeah, the 18th of June, right? 2022. Right. Now, these are all the books that I had before that, too, right? See, I bought all these books first, right? On Aikido, right? From the complete basic techniques all the way to, right, the master course, right? Right. By Goza Shioda. And on this tape series, right, I got Master Ken Oda's series again, but also Master Gozo Shioda, volumes 1, 2, and 3, the complete techniques, right? So this time I got 3 more, right? And like I said, I already had his books, right? Right. So they gotta be, right? It's Tanrin, not Tamrin, right? Okay. So, like I said, though, if you put in the time, right, and effort to learn a martial arts, that's how you should be awarded as time goes on. So it took from, like I said, around 2017 to 2022, which is about 3 years, right? So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, 5 years, 5 years. But like I told you, your problem is you want to argue about things, right? Instead of saying, God says this or that, you're the one saying God says this or that, right? See, what Paul's trying to do is break you of a bad habit of judging each other, right? So what do you think he means, right? About sexual immorality, right? Well, that depends on what you're doing, right? Now, 2 men in the Old Testament were with prostitutes. One was Samson, right? And he was just with her from evening to midnight, right? That's not a lot of time, but it is, right? About 6 hours, right? And then Hosea married one because the Lord told him to marry Gomer, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And Adam Lambert on Jennifer Hudson today, along with Jalen Hill and Brianna Cameron. He's doing a concert called The Witch Hunt. Adam is. Now, like I keep telling you, my forte.
You Love With Me by Aretha Franklin. You sang the Queen song. The Queen of Soul. Right. And then you did the Queen song, right? Yeah. And now you've toured with Queen. Yeah. And now we have Michael over here. So how about we try to switch songs? Oh, a Queen swap. I like that. You do a Queen swap. A Queen swap. Okay.
Anyway. Now, this isn't about right or wrong anymore. It's about forgiveness. Or you're missing the whole point Jesus is really making, right? The problem is, right, you're trying to control one another, right? Which isn't love, right? In one another, right? And that's kind of the real problem, right? So I'm recording my shows for tonight. The Connors. The Goldbergs. 10, 19, 22.
Teach us, Michael. Looking down on the morning rain.
Oh, used to feel so inspired. Right, you're right. But you also hear an echo effect, right? What is that? What is that? See. Even a little sharp there, right? You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. But see, there's an echo effect, right? See, the question is that live auto tune or something? Right. We don't know. We don't know. And that's what some people wonder, is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? Now, right. The thing about the echo effect, though, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Now, is that an impersonation or not, right? But again, right? No echo effect. No echo effect. Right. Like I said, be somebody to get you. Right? Damn. So I couldn't do Aretha. Mike can do Aretha. Mike can do Aretha. Now, alright. Not every dude, though, thinks he can pull off Aretha, right? Or even Whitney, right? And I will always love you. Right? Not too bad for a guy. Really? I know. Alright. Will always love you. Now I'm freestyling it a little. So you don't hear no echo effect, right? Like with Adam, right? Well, it's something in the sound system, right? When you're hearing that echo effect, right? Now, I don't think it's not Adam singing, right? At all, either, right? But I think that echo effect, right? Both helped in kind of, you can hear it so they're not sure how to deal with that, right? And I'm having to critique it, right? Legally, right? But not trying to put what happened down either, but I could hear it, right? It's, again, something you can't really do with a natural voice, right? But to really impersonate Aretha, right, herself, right, like I said, right, or even whoever sung the Jefferson theme song, right? I don't know her name. At all, right? But to me, her and Aretha sound similar, though, don't they? I know that. Breathe up in the kitchen. Breathe up on the grill. Took a whole lot of juggling just to get up that hill. Right? Damn. No echo effect. No echo effect. Right. No. Am I blowing your mind? But that's because your mind's never been blown before, probably. Really. Well, it's like doing an impersonation of a female character. You have to kind of realize you're doing it in your head voice if you're a male, right? Versus your chest voice, right? Which is how we normally talk to deep in, you know. But that's why I do it all, right? Low, high, medium, do very white tonight, honey. I feel a little bit hot tonight, baby. So I go back and forth between Barry and Aretha, right? Because I can do both voices, right? I don't know, right? Why do you make me feel like a natural woman? Right. Well, that's the thing, right? We're skinning this, right? See, the color of your skin matters more than your talent sometimes, too, right? See, I'm not a black woman. So, of course, the white man thinking like a wreath is going to freak you out, right? Okay. But Eddie Murphy, like I told you, right, did impersonate a white man himself, right? And, of course, I know that's possible, too. Why? I can do black people. Right. Exactly. That's why it don't bother me none that Eddie did that, right? But it might bother some people, right? Because the only difference is their country is Africa, like the Australian and the Aborigines. It's a hot climate, right? Hot means darker skin. How do I know? Right. Not one country is hot, two are. And dark-skinned people come from both those continents, right? And they're about a third of the world away from each other, right? Well, they're also the hottest, driest, arid countries on the planet today, right? So, he's just an offshoot from that continent, right? And so is Jennifer, right? And we're from their recessive genes, right? Okay, you have a dominant and a recessive gene, right? The recessive gene, right, okay, can be dominant, right? And also, the more you reproduce in the climate, the darker your skin gets, right? As a adaptation, right? So where by the time we, started messing with Africa and the slave trade and all that, right? Everybody was dark skinned, right? Now it's early on, right, in the civilizations, right, that we separated anyway, right? It's not later on, it's earlier on, right? Before the flood or shortly after the flood, right? Right. The Tower of Babel, remember that? Right. That's when we spread out all over the world, right? If you're a Bible believer. If not, here's how you got to look at it, right? At some point in our development, right, we develop different languages or different words for the same thing, right? The fan in another language might be said something differently, but it's an invention, so, right. Whatever you call it, right? We call it a fan because we're the manufacturers of it, right? So to speak, right? So we call it a fan, right? Now in another language, right? It's also a fan. Why? We're the inventors of it, right? If you understand what I mean there too, right? An air conditioning unit, right, did not always exist as a means to cool people, right? But once it became in existence, it's pretty much called an air conditioner, right? Even in other languages, for example, too, right? Okay, you understand how deep I'm going here? Right. An aeroplane. Give me a ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to check the fast train. Lonely days are gone. I'm a-going home. My baby just wrote me a letter. Now, those are also common things we can do today, right? But we couldn't do before, right? So the artist who wrote this song is using modern language that didn't even exist, right? Though there are letter writing. Though again, it would be called something different by each nation, right? And different places have different words for the same thing too, right? It's like yada. It's both sexual in the Hebrew and just general knowledge as well. Right. But see, like I say, I can't just look at someone on TV and say, oh, she's the one. I keep telling you that. In life, right? It don't work that way. That's not real life, right? Usually, like I told you, you try to date someone already around you, right? But someone not related to you and things like that, right? That's what I was always taught growing up, right? Yeah. Now, I was shadow boxing, though, in 2008 with George Kirby's book, like I told you. So I've been into the throwing arts for a while. But this shows the fruit of my labor, too, right? You know, right? Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not saying without the echo, right? Adam can't sing, right? Let's get that straight now. But he might be a little nervous. They might have added in the echo effect, right? To maybe help him reach some of the notes. I don't know. But you can also hear him singing without it, right? So that's the point, right? The question is that a way to make you sound better and considered auto-tune, or is that a combination of just the echo effect, right? And it's really his voice too. See, that's an honest question, since we can hear it. That's what I mean too. If you're going to ask a question, which is reporting on what Jennifer aired today, right? On her show, right? That's fair use too, right? Because it causes a question to be asked. Why is there an echo effect behind Adam's voice, and what does it mean, right? Is it a way to make him sound higher or lower, right? To help him reach those notes, when my explanation and my impersonation of Aretha, right, or the woman who sung the Jefferson theme song, right? I don't know her name either, right? I just hear it every time I watch Jefferson's, right? That's all I know about it, right? But whoever it is, though, I can impersonate her and Aretha, right? And there's no, middle ground there, right? You can hear the impersonation, right? But that's because I got a tenor to alto type voice, maybe even soprano, right? Myself, but I kind of hold back because I don't have a spotlight, right? Exactly. Right. Okay.